YouTube, what is going on? DA Comics here, coming back at you guys with another comic book pickups. Today is part 2 from last week. I went ahead and just saved it for this week because I was busy and didn't have time to get to it. But we have a massive comic book haul this week. This is everything I've got to show you guys that I'm adding to the collection this week. I'm going to put this down before I drop these everywhere because I'm getting pretty close. We got a lot of comics to talk about, so I'm pretty much just going to dive straight into things. But first, before we get into the back issues, we of course have all of the new comic books from this week. Only a few, only about 4, but let's go ahead and dive into these and give my thoughts on them. So, first up, we have Midnight Suns, issue number 2. I'm not a huge fan of this cover. I don't like the pink. It just feels too bubbly for a Midnight Suns cover. I think Midnight Suns should be gritty and like dark and cool looking. And this is just a little colorful, a little goofy, but it was an okay story. I didn't love it, didn't hate it. I did find out that this is only a 5-issue limited series, so that kind of makes me perceive it a little bit differently, because if I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it was an ongoing series, I'd be like, it'll get better. But knowing that it's 1 of 5, so far, not super great. So I'm going to keep picking it up, but haven't really been wowed by that yet. Next up, we have Thor, issue number 28, Legacy number 754. This is the second of the 2-part story crossover between Thor and Venom. I expressed a disappointment with the last issue because it was heavily advertised as Donny Cates is writing Venom again, and then it turns out he's not even writing this. Al Ewing is writing this. But I will say I am glad after tons of, we have the Odin funeral issue, then we had Banner of War, and then we have this short little Venom story, and then coming up we have another short little Thanos story. I'm glad that this issue was finally setting up the next big storyline in this series, which looks like Donald Blake is going to be coming back again. I was very happy to see that because I don't care for crossovers. I don't care for these little one-offs. I'm reading this book because I really like his big stories. He told the Black Winter, he told the Revelations, he told the story of Mjolnir being the Mangog or whatever. All those stories. I'm excited for the next storyline like that. And for Donny Cates to make his return, because this issue and last issue were written by Al Ewing. The next 3-part storyline, I believe it is, 3-part storyline, is Nick Klein. So I'm eager for Donny Cates to get back to his run. So, but it was good. It was good. Definitely better than the last issue, but that's it's hard to compare them. They're just 2 different things. So, next up, we got a book that you guys know I was, of course, very excited for, and this is Batman One Bad Day Penguin number 1. I have been loving this series ever since the first issue dropped. Batman One Bad Day, the Riddler, is one of my favorite comic books ever. So that set a really high bar for this series going forward, and I will say that this issue didn't quite meet that expectation. Now, that's not to say that it wasn't good. It was enjoyable. Giuseppe Camuncoli's art is not my favorite, but it is still very good. John Ridley's writing was alright. But what I would say is I feel like this is probably the worst of the 3 that are out so far. Again, not bad. I do think it's worth a purchase, but it just didn't blow my mind like the Riddler did. And even the Two-Face one was very, very good. This one was good, but it wasn't mind-blowingly good. I enjoyed it. I don't know when I'll read it again. That's how I would put that. The Riddler one I've already read twice. Two-Face I could see myself reading again. So this didn't quite meet that level. But it's definitely a worthy inclusion to the series overall. And I'm very excited. Next month is Mr. Freeze, I believe. So that should be very, very good. I'm excited for them to keep going with this because I think it's a really cool idea for a series of comic books. And I'm very much enjoying collecting and reading them. So next up, the last new book this week that I picked up is Carnage number 7. No legacy number. I have been saying every single time a new issue of this comes out in these videos, go and pick up this series. Not only is it so freaking good, but I really want it to do well so that they don't cancel it, because it seems like a Carnage series can never last very long, and that's not fair, because Venom gets so many series. He gets to 35 issues in a run, more than that. Carnage gets to like 16 and then it always ends up getting canceled, or they just do 5-issue miniseries. So the fact that they're doing a Carnage ongoing series, I really want it to be successful so it continues going. One cool thing about this book, which I posted on my Instagram story about, you would know this if you follow me at DA Comics on Instagram. This book actually printed a letter from me. I am in this comic book. I say letter, of course it's email nowadays, but in the Cletus Clubhouse at the end, I don't know if I can get it on this camera, but I wrote this letter here. I specifically wrote them a few months ago, asking about the legacy numbering. I'll read my letter here. I said, "Hey Spidey Office, loving the new Carnage run. Carnage has long been my favorite Spider-Man villain, and I'm happy to see him getting his own series. I feel like people only ever show Venom the love. I did have one question. Why did these Carnage issues not have a legacy number? In past Carnage runs had legacy numbers, so I wonder why the omission on these. Thanks, DA." I did actually misspeak. Past Carnage runs did not have legacy numbering. I just meant to be like other series have legacy numbering. But they responded, "Good question, DA. We actually have some tricks up our sleeves regarding legacy numbering that we're hoping to share with you real soon. We think you'll dig it." So kind of a non-answer. I told my brother about that, and he was like, they probably were like, shit, we forgot about legacy numbering, and then we're just like, we're working on something. But yeah, so I'm holding them accountable, man. They said they're working on something for legacy numbering, and that I'll dig it. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully that'll be coming soon, because that's one thing I think is really missing from this series is the legacy numbering. Because as a collector, I would like to collect every issue of Carnage. I just need to know what they are. So hopefully some news soon on that, but sick cover. I realized I didn't actually talk about the story at all. It's very good. It's very good. That's all I really got to say. Pick it up. It's very good. I actively look forward to each new issue. And I really love how it's kind of delving into the world of Thor a little bit. Like Hela is in this. Malekith is in this. You know, they're really diving into like the fantasy elements of the Marvel Universe. And I'm a big fan of that. But anyway, those are all my new books. Diving into back issues now, so move a little bit quicker because I got a lot of books. So, first I have some modern back issues. Picked this one up this week. I saw it on the shelf at my comic store and I really wanted it. It is the Immortal Hulk issue 50 variant cover. I believe it's a Joe Bennett homage variant cover. I just really love, he did a lot of the art on the Immortal Hulk series. I really love the way he draws Hulk, and then obviously this has kind of the old 90s numbering, whatever that's called, the Immortal Hulk title there. Just a really, really cool variant. This is actually the first issue, like physical copy of Immortal Hulk that I've bought. I was not picking up Hulk when that series came out, and that's one of my biggest regrets because that series is so freaking cool. The story is so good, and the value of those books have gone up a lot. Like, issue 1 is a pretty valuable book nowadays. So I would actually really like to pick up that series. That's one of those runs that I really, even though it's not coming out anymore, I want to pick up every issue of it. So, like, just like with Donny Cates' Venom run, I want to get every issue of that, all 35. I want to get every issue of Immortal Hulk. So you'll probably see me picking up more of these in the future. I'm just trying to work my way through. Obviously, some of them are going to be more expensive than others. But it would make me very happy if at some point in the future I could have all 50 issues of the Immortal Hulk, because as Hulk runs go, it's definitely one of the better ones. So, really cool variant there. And then, speaking of Hulk, got another little series here that I did not know existed, actually, until I was scrolling on Twitter, and someone posted a screenshot of a page from this comic, and I thought it looked really, really cool. So I looked into it, and I found it on eBay, got all 6 issues. This is Hulk Gray. This is a mini-series written by Jeff Loeb, drawn by Tim Sale back in 2003. It's a storyline taking place at Hulk's origin when he was gray still. It has the old, like, tin Iron Man. And I have not read this yet, but I'm looking forward to reading it. I'll go through these here. I have Hulk Gray 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Relatively cheap. I got them for a pretty good price. I just thought they were really cool. I wanted to read them, and then I also just kind of wanted to pick them up to have them. So definitely going to be reading those in the next couple of weeks sometime. But really cool. Moving along, got a couple Spawn back issues. As you guys may remember, I picked up Spawn #1 recently, which I don't have very many Spawn comics at all, but it's something I wanted to start collecting more, so I started with #1, and then I have like 330. So I wanted to check out a few Spawn back issues, pick up just a couple cheap ones just to fill out the collection. So first I got Spawn issue number 62, featuring Angela on the cover. Angela, of course, the character that ended up going over to Marvel and appearing in the Thor comics, being like Thor's sister. But very, very cool cover there. Greg Capullo cover, which I very much like his art. Excuse me. And then I got Spawn issue number 13. Really just picked these two out because I really like their covers. And I'm going to be looking to pick up more Spawn books in the near future. So continuing to expand that collection as well. Moving along, this next book was a freebie. One of the books that I ordered that you'll see later in this video, he threw in this book for free. Like, I didn't even know I was getting it. I opened the package and it was in there, and he just said, here's a freebie. It's New Titans 100. Cool foil cover, so nothing too crazy, nothing I even picked out or wanted, but of all freebies to get, I've gotten freebies before where I really didn't care about them. I think I got a freebie of like a Captain Marvel comic that I definitely didn't care about. This one's actually pretty cool. I mean, it's Titans, which I do like the Titans, and it's one of those 90s foil covers that I've been really enjoying lately, so as freebies go, pretty cool. But moving on, now we got some, you guessed it, Copper Age back issues. As you guys know, I've been going a little bit crazy with these lately. Specifically trying to expand my repertoire of what series I'm collecting. So last week I showed you guys some Hulk back issues. I showed you some Thor back issues. What else did I pick up? Doctor Strange, things like that. Today we have some Avengers back issues. So first up we have Avengers 357. Got Black Knight and the Watcher on the cover there. Two characters I always love to see. So definitely had to pick that one up. We got 349, Thor and Hercules on it. 344, love this cover. It is Black Knight versus the Swordsman. What an awesome, awesome cover. Then we got 236 featuring Spider-Man, an Avenger. I already had 237, which is this is a two-part storyline of like Spider-Man joining the Avengers. So obviously, you know, I had to pick that up. I don't love this cover, and I definitely don't like this title. But it's Spider-Man joining the Avengers. I mean, come on. Then we got 226, featuring this evil eye, kind of Cyclops demon-looking creature. Also Black Knight over there. I really like Black Knight. I don't know. That's a lot of these books I bought are because Black Knight was in them or on the cover, and I thought he's just really cool. Like this one, for example, 225. Of course, the At Last, the Black Knight. Got this awesome, like, regal gold frame up there. All the Avengers faces here, and then Black Knight. Just a really, really cool cover. And then we got the last Avengers book that I picked up is issue 202, of course, featuring Ultron on the cover. Very, very cool book. Moving on, next series that I picked up some books of is another Marvel series that I've had books of in the past, but I'm trying to get a little bit more of, and that is Fantastic Four. So moving through these, we got Fantastic Four 306. Got this one because it's got Diablo on the cover. I always really liked Diablo when I was a kid growing up. Then we got 307, the second part of that, also with Diablo. 311, featuring Black Panther. It's always kind of cool to see a Fantastic Four book with Black Panther in it, given that his first appearance was in a Fantastic Four book. So definitely a cool pickup there. Then we got 318, featuring Doctor Doom. Really cool cover. 319. This is such a cool book because it almost feels like the precursor to Secret Wars 2015, because it is Doctor Doom, who is, of course, God Doom in Secret Wars, versus the Beyonder from the original Secret Wars. And in the background, you've got Molecule Man, who is also a very important character in Secret Wars 2015. So, really, really cool book there. Then I got 320, featuring, once again, Doctor Doom and the Hulk. And this is when he was gray again in the 90s. So we have Thing versus the Hulk with Doctor Doom in the background. That's a sick comic book right there. Then I got 323 featuring Kang the Conqueror, the next big bad of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and a really, really cool character. 347, this is such an awesome cover. You've got the Fantastic Four in the center here, and then in kind of gray around them, you have all these different characters. You've got Hulk, Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Skrulls, what's his name? Mole Man. Really, really cool cover. I love the art on that. Then we got Fantastic Four 360. You guys know I'm a sucker for a gorilla on the cover. Gorillas are my favorite animal. So whenever I see a gorilla on the cover, I'm buying that book. 361, Christmas issue, Miracle on Yancey Street. I've been picking up a few of these Christmas issues. I got the Hulk one with Santa Claus. Now I got this one. I'll have to do some kind of Christmas special when Christmas rolls around and show all of the comics that I have that are like Christmas comics. Because I have quite a few, actually. Next up is issue 369, featuring Susan Richards as Malice. This is an Infinity War crossover. And then immediately after that is 370, another really cool cover. You've got Galactus in the background there. They're all kind of warped a little bit. And in text across the entire cover, it says The End of Infinity. So definitely something big going on there. And then the last Fantastic Four issue that I picked up this week is 387. Another one of those 90s foil covers. This is actually a cutout. So when you open up the book, Susan stays behind, and then it's an alternate art on the inside. But really, really cool. I love the different textured foils that they did on covers in the 90s. I think it's really creative. I wish they would do it more in modern books, but I'm sure there's a reason they don't. It was probably too expensive or something like that. I don't know. Moving along, got some Silver Age Marvel. Some Hulk Silver Age books. This first one is Tales to Astonish, number 77. I only have one other Tales to Astonish book, because I only started collecting Hulk very recently, and Silver Age Hulk very recently. So I picked this one up very, very cheap. I just thought it was a really cool cover. You've got Hulk in the background there. It says, Bruce Banner is the Hulk. And then Bruce Banner there, or a spectral kind of representation of Bruce Banner there. Really, really cool book. Low grade. Displays pretty well, though, I will say. And then this next book is beautiful. This is Hulk number 109, featuring the Lost Land of Khazar. Awesome cover. You've got Hulk up here with Khazar. The title is like etched out of wood, and then this saber-toothed tiger in the foreground just looks so cool. I love this cover. It displays really, really well. Got it in Mylar, of course, to really show off that beautiful art. Very happy to have that book. Moving along. Sorry, hang on, I'm getting a message. Moving along, I picked up some Wonder Woman back issues. I got Wonder Woman 313. Circe returns as all her man-beast stalk a helpless Amazon. You've got this kind of demon-looking goat thing here chasing after Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is another one of those comics that I want to start collecting more of. I have a couple that I've picked up, but I wanted to pick up a few more, so I got this one. And then out of Wonder Woman Volume 2, because Wonder Woman rebooted in the 80s, we have Wonder Woman number 19, and I just love this cover. And no, not because of it being all sexy and things like that. I just think it's really good art. This is George Perez, art legend, passed away this year. Rest in peace to the GOAT. Very famous artist, and I just really love this cover because I think the kind of space in the background, the way she's posed on this bed, and then all these creepy like animals are stalking around Wonder Woman chained up. It's just a really, really, really cool cover. So I really like that book. Then we got Wonder Woman number 76, Visions of Death. Really cool art with this character getting like burned up by touching this golden Wonder Woman. Don't know what's going on there. And speaking of incredible covers, Wonder Woman number 82. Look at that cover. You got Ares front and center. Wonder Woman, of course, bound down here. And Ares looks so freaking cool. I mean, that is just such a sick cover. I love that book. That is awesome. And then the last Wonder Woman book I picked up is issue number 92, featuring this Medusa-like character. Yeah, very, very cool book. So just a few Wonder Woman books, nothing too crazy, but wanted to extend the collection a little bit. So that's the beginnings of it, and I'll probably pick up more in the future. Moving along, picked up a few detective comics. I actually need to remove some of these around here real quick. There we go. Picked up a few detective comics from Silver Age, Bronze Age, all the way up to Copper Age. So first off with Silver Age, we have this Detective Comics number 377, featuring the Riddler. This is probably my only Batman comic back issue that has the Riddler in it, so really cool first one to get. Awesome cover. You got Batman in the jail cell, Riddler laughing, Robin laughing. It's definitely low grade, but I got it for a really good price, so I'm not too mad about that. Moving along, we got Detective Comics 564 featuring Two-Face. Seemed like a cool book to pick up there. Next few are just some covers that I really liked. We have 587, 590. Love this cover. That is an awesome cover. Then we have 610. Got Batman in the graveyard there. Super cool. And then 617. Awesome Joker cover. This art is phenomenal. You got Joker over here in this kind of jester outfit, a warped demonic Batman here, then all these like demonic symbols. You have like the eye of the Illuminati and a pentagram, all sorts of things. Just really, really, really cool art. Really nice. Then moving along, I got a few more Thor books this week. After the ones I picked up last week, we got Thor number 278, featuring Ragnarok, and a mythological Thor. It says, "Keep out of my way, yellow hair. This is a job for Thor, the real god of thunder." So, not sure what's going on there, but super cool. Then we got 273 with the Midgard Serpent. For those who don't know, the Midgard Serpent is a very important creature in the mythology of Norse mythology. Basically is prophesized to kill Thor, so really, really cool to see the Marvel version of the Midgard Serpent face off against Thor. Then I got 256. I just thought this was a really cool cover. Spore, the monstrous Spore, is tangling them all up. Then I got 243, Turmoil in the Time Stream. This is definitely some of the source material that the Loki Disney Plus show is based on. I'm pretty sure this creature here is what was depicted in Loki, the smoke that they fought, basically, before they got to Kang's house at the end of time. Then I got Thor 207, a special haunted Halloween issue. Got Loki on the cover with two wolves attacking Thor. Really, really cool cover. And of course, with it about to be Halloween, seemed fitting to pick up a Halloween issue at this time. So, then I picked up Captain America and the Falcon 137 to Stalk the Spider-Man. I never really looked at Captain America back issues too much. I had some, but as you guys know, last week I picked up a whole bunch. I was looking at more this week and more like Silver Age and early Bronze Age, and I saw this Spider-Man crossover that I did not know happened. So, of course, you knew I had to pick that up. I believe this is from like 1969, 1970, so it's very late Silver Age, very early Bronze Age. Crossover between Captain America and Spider-Man, so really, really cool book. Actually, pretty good quality. I would say mid-grade, maybe a 4.0, but displays really well. The colors are really popping in this Mylar, so... great book there. And now, the rest of the books I picked up, except for the few at the end, which, as you may have saw when I showed my stack, are graded books. The rest of these books here are all one series, and that series is Action Comics. As you guys know, I've been getting into Superman some more lately, and I wanted to pick up a bunch of Action Comics back issues to really fill out my collection and get started. And I also just really been into them. I've been looking online and just seeing all these different Action Comics, and I just think they're so cool. So First up, a more recent issue is Action Comics 1000. It's relatively cheap, hasn't gone up in value too much. Don't know if it really will, but I wanted to pick it up. I have Detective Comics 1000. I felt like I should probably have Action Comics 1000. It's just a really cool book to have. So picked that up for, I think, cover price. It really was not anything expensive, but it's a really cool book. Then moving backwards, we got Action Comics 584, featuring the Teen Titans. You got Cyborg over here, Beast Boy down there. I really liked the Teen Titans. I loved their show when I was a kid, so that seems like a really cool book. Then I got issue 576. Picked this one up because dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. I saw 2 T-Rexes on here. Wanted to pick it up. Then I got issue 566 featuring Superman versus Captain Strong. Obviously Popeye the Sailor Man. I don't think there's any debate there. That's why I picked this up. It looks like Popeye. It's not, but it is. So I wanted it. Then I got issue 555. Just a really cool cover with Supergirl on it. Love the headband. It's an interesting look. Kind of weird, but... 528, featuring Brainiac. Looks like a team-up with Brainiac. This next book has a phenomenal cover. It is issue 494, and I love this cover. It's Superman coming in the window, he says, and Lois on the bed screaming and like running in fear. "Superman, help! Save me from that killer!" And he says, "What killer, Lois? I don't see anyone but you." And you see this ghost spectral soldier with a gun pointed at Lois. Whoever drew this cover, I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head, did a phenomenal job. I love the expression on Lois's face. It's just really, really good. So cool. Moving along, we got Action Comics 485, classic cover. Superman breaking the Kryptonite chains. This next one really makes me laugh. It's Action Comics 454. More burgers! Chomp! Keep them coming, gulp, or I'll starve to death! And this lady's like, "What? But you've already eaten enough for an army!" And it's just Superman eating a bunch of burgers with a line of waitresses coming with more burgers. That's a hilarious comic book cover. And that's really what I like from old DC Comics, is just the goofy, silly, ridiculous ones. And that is absolutely what that is. So that's an awesome, awesome book. Then I got issue 381. Superman, the Dictator of Earth. Kind of reminiscent of Injustice years later, where Superman does become Dictator of Earth. Moving into the Silver Age now. Picked up a few Silver Age Action Comics, and maybe even some Golden Age Action Comics. This first one is number 337. I thought this was a really funny gag. It's From Riches to Rags, and it's Superman in a top hat with a cane getting out of a limo, and then Superman with a hole in his sock eating canned food out next to Private Superman's shack. It's a little tone deaf. It says, "Why does Superman fight crime as a millionaire and as a hobo?" That's a weird one, but it's cool. Then we got Action Comics 333. Picked this one up because it has a dragon on the cover. Dragons are cool, so naturally I pick it up. But that's a really, really cool book there. Moving back into the 10-cent range, we have Action Comics number 271, The Voyage to Dimension X. This book is pretty low grade, like a 1.0 or a 0.5, but I got it really, really cheap, so not too mad about that condition there. This next book I picked up for 2 reasons. One, it's just really cool, but 2, I forget if I mentioned this in a video recently, but I was looking at my collection recently, and I realized that I have a comic from every single year since 1959, which is my oldest comic, except for 1960. I did not have a single comic book from 1960, so I wanted to remedy that. So naturally, I started looking for comics from 1960. You're not going to find anything Marvel from 1960, at least not for the price range I was looking at. So I moved to DC, and I found this book, Action Comics number 264. This is from 1960, which means now I have a comic from every year since 1959. But this is featuring a bizarroed Superman smashing Lois Lane's desk. Of course, I have the first adult appearance of Adult Bizarro in my collection over there. That was actually shortly before this. That's my book from 1959. So a really cool pickup, and it's actually in decent condition. It's obviously low grade, but it displays really, really well, and actually looks quite good. And then the last book I picked up before my graded ones at the end here is actually older than my 1959 issue. This is now my oldest comic book in my collection, and it's a really awesome one. This is Action Comics number 235 from 1957. Right there. It is Superman in Kryptonite chains, the super prisoner of Amazon Island, of course, where Wonder Woman is from. Really, really cool comic book. Features a bunch of women bidding to own Superman as a slave, which is, you know, interesting. But really cool book from 1957. Low grade, but again, I got it for a great price. And I was really happy to just get another 1950s comic book, because that is an area of history that I don't have a whole lot of comic books from. Next up, I mean, I'm obviously going to want to keep getting more 50s DC books, older 50s DC books, and I would absolutely love to pick up an Action Comics from the 40s sometime soon. Obviously, that's a bit more expensive, but it would be a really, really cool pickup to have. But this one is super awesome. Now, I'm going to try and move along because this video has already been very long. We're almost done. I got 3 books left to show you guys. All 3 of these books are, in fact, graded. Got them all for really great prices. That's why I was able to get 3 graded books. This first one, I absolutely love this book. So I was looking at Action Comics. I mentioned earlier that I picked up Action Comics 1000. I was looking at the variants for Action Comics 1000, and I saw this one, which is probably one of my favorite comic book covers of all time. And as you guys know, I loved Superman Space Age, drawn by Michael Allred. I'm sure you can guess already. This is Action Comics 1000, the 1960s variant by Michael Allred, CGC 9.8. I got this one in the CGC slab because I really just wanted to put it up on my wall. It's going to go right here. And this is such a beautiful cover. It's made as an homage to the look of the 1960s. It's got the checkered bar up top. It's got the old Action Comics title. Has a fake comics code there. And then the art itself is just Michael Allred at his best. You got Superman in the center, and then all of these spiraled sections showing different corny Superman adventures. You've got the giant key. You've got the city in the bottle. You've got Bizarro and Bizarro World. All of this ridiculousness. It's just such a beautiful cover. I mean, I can't even do it justice on video here. If you really want to see good photos of this book, I'm going to be posting it over on my Instagram, like I said earlier, at DA Comics on Instagram, if you want to see some high-res photos of this book, because it is just such a beautiful color. The colors are just popping. It's so nice. I love this cover. I'm so happy to have this book on my wall. It's just so cool. And I do have another book coming. There's a placeholder right there for right now, but there's another book coming that's going to go there that's going to pair very nicely with this book. I'm not going to spoil what that is. That'll probably be in next week's pickups, so you'll just have to subscribe to see that when it comes out. But moving along, I'm actually going to put this one right up here. Right up there where it belongs. The next book that I picked up is also a Superman comic. Now, if I was going to start collecting Superman comics, you knew I had to pick up some nice key issues very soon. I got the first appearance of Bizarro. I got, that's about it. This is a big one. This book I got for a really, really good price. I'm going to show the back here. See if they'll turn it around. This is Superman, the Man of Steel. It's from issue 18 from 1992. CGC 9.4. It is the first full appearance of Doomsday. Obviously a huge Superman villain, one of his greatest nemesis, featured in movies like Batman vs. Superman, and hopefully a better movie one day. This is a huge Superman character, huge villain. I mean, up there with Lex Luthor. Obviously, Lex Luthor's been around longer. This only came around in the 90s, but first appearance of Doomsday is an awesome book to own. And as a newfound Superman fan, someone who's only just getting into Superman comics, I knew I had to get some kind of Holy Grail to begin with. And the first appearance of Doomsday is pretty much that. Because Doomsday is probably one of my favorite Superman villains. I don't really care for Lex Luthor as much as some other people do. I do really like Bizarro. I do really like Brainiac. But a lot of those first appearances are just way too expensive for me to be picking up anytime soon. But this I got for a really, really affordable price. It's an awesome cover, so it'll look really great on the wall. And it's an awesome key issue to have going forward. First appearance of Doomsday. CGC 9.4. I did look at 9.6s. I looked at 9.8s. They were also for very good prices, but they were a little bit higher than I was willing or able to pay. So I did end up going with the 9.4, which I am not mad with at all. 9.4 is still a really great grade on a book like this, so definitely happy with that. But yeah, awesome book. And then the last book that I picked up. Now, I just showed you the first appearance of Doomsday, and you're thinking, how is there a book after this, right? Wouldn't you save that one for last? And the answer is no. Because this next book is even better. Now, this is a book I am so excited to have. I got it for a really good price, and it's another really awesome key issue. This book is a Silver Surfer book, another series that I've been collecting more of recently. Specifically, it is Silver Surfer issue number 44, CGC 9.0. This is the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet. That is an awesome key issue. It's not the first appearance of Thanos, anything like that, but it is the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet. Obviously, an iconic weapon, iconic piece of armor. I have the Infinity Gauntlet right here behind me. This is the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet, so that is just so cool. I was surprised to find out that first appeared in a Silver Surfer comic. I assumed it would have been in Infinity Gauntlet or in something else. But no, it was in a Silver Surfer book in this series that I've actually been starting to collect. And so as I was looking for a graded Silver Surfer book to go on my wall, right next to my Ghost Rider book, first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet, had to pick it up. I'm going to try and display it somewhere here with my Infinity Gauntlet itself. I'm not going to actually leave it like right there, although that would be kind of cool. Yeah, it doesn't look good. But I might move some of my comics around so I can have it here above the Infinity Gauntlet or something like that. Because obviously, super cool. My friend was recommending I put it over on my wall next to my Hot Toys Thanos and my Infinity War and Endgame posters. And that's not a bad suggestion. It's just the way the Thanos is set up on the wall, it would have to go above it or below it, and it would just look kind of weird. I'd have to move things around, which I could do, but I don't know if I will. So I'll probably just keep it over here with all my graded books, but awesome key issue. Got a beautiful cover. Thanos gripping Silver Surfer and Drax in his fist. 9.0 is a very solid grade. Obviously, it's not a 9.8, it's not a 9.6, anything crazy like that, but a 9.0 is still a very solid grade on a key issue like this. And I don't see this going up in value too much. Obviously, it's going to go up in value over time, but any value that it would have gone up, it has already. I mean, the Infinity Gauntlet's already been very relevant in the movies and the comic books, so I don't see that relevancy going up necessarily. But either way, even not just from a value standpoint, this is just a really cool book to have. I just really wanted the first appearance of the Infinity Gauntlet. So, awesome book. Awesome book. But that's going to do it for my pickups this week. That was a whole lot. So if you made it to the end of this video, leave a comment down below, man. Let me know what you thought about these pickups. I will say I kind of went really hard the last couple of weeks with back issues and pickups for these videos. That's definitely going to slow down for a little bit. I cannot afford to keep going like this. So the next couple of pickups videos will probably be much shorter, a little bit smaller, mostly new books, just talking about the new ones coming out. But I will be trying to keep going because I really enjoy picking up all these books. I really enjoy expanding my collection, and I know it gives me a lot of comic books to show you guys, which is, you know, part of why you may be watching these videos. So I really do appreciate you guys if you watch these. If you can, hit that like button if you do enjoy this video. That really helps me to kind of see what you guys like and don't like, you know, longer videos, shorter videos, things like that. And if you are new here, hit the subscribe button, man. I do this every single week, show you guys my new pickups and additions to the collection. I'm working on some other different kinds of videos, showcasing the collection in different ways, talking about comic books in different ways. Pretty soon we'll be bringing the podcast back, reading through every issue of The Amazing Spider-Man, so lots of stuff coming to the channel. Links to all my socials are in the description or on my channel. I've shouted out my Instagram more than a couple times this video. You can follow me on TikTok, you can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Twitch, anything like that. Check out my other YouTube channels where I do gaming content, tabletop gaming content, all that good stuff. But I'm going to stop rambling and go work on uploading this video so that it's up before it's too late tonight. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.